Hello everyone, welcome back. So in previous class we have learned about the string operator in ESQL. In this lecture we are going to learn about the looping in ESQL. When talking about the loop in ESQL, there are four type of loop in ESQL. First is the loop, end loop, repeat loop, while loop, and the for loop. These all loop we are going to see in detail, and we are going to understand how basically it works. So if you don't know anything about this loop, so you don't need to worry about that. When talking about the loop basically used to use when a block of code need to be execute repeatedly. As name suggests, loop. If anything, suppose there is a circle. This circle is continuously a person moving in this circle. So he is basically what he is doing. He is moving at a particular one place. He is moving continuously. In same way, loop works. Loop basically execute a particular code repeatedly. So it basically checks a tag, a repeating tag, and according to repeating tag, it will continuously move until the code terminates. So it basically runs according to condition. So whatever the condition we are going to provide in the loop, according to that it will continuously execute. Before going to understand the loop, let's go to toolkit and let's understand. If you remember in the previous classes, we have designed one application called the simple transformation. In simple transformation, what we have designed, if you go to the compute node, you can see I have designed this flow where we did the simple transformation and where we did the complex transformation. Same example I am going to use. Same example I want to show you through using the loops, because I can take the another different example, but I want to take the same example, same input message to show you how basically it works in the loop. So if I will show you the what input message I have taken for that case. For the simple array, if there is only one field, this is the simple message transformation. So what we did, we have taken this input message. So we have the order detail, under order we have the one order. For one order, these are the detail: the customer name, quantity, total price, and the address and mobile number. Okay. So for that, what we did, we just created a output route. Under output route, we just created the field sales data. Under sales, we have created, under that we have created the different field name, quantity, sales amount, address, and the contact detail. And these all value, with the help of inref dot field name, we have assigned the value. But when there are more than one field, then it is not possible to do with the simple transformation. For that we did the complex transformation. We did array to array mapping. So this is the first array, this is the second array, and this is the third array. So we did the all three array mapping. Okay. So if I will go to this example, suppose I want to do transformation from this as a input message, and I want to expect this in output. So what difference between this and this message is, this message starting field is order detail. For this message, starting tag is sales data. For this, under order detail we have the orders. Here under orders, sales data, we have the sales. That's only difference. Other parameter I have kept it as the same, that the customer name, quantity, total price, delivery address, and mobile number. These all syntax I have taken as the same. I have not taken any different. Okay. But according to code logic, if you see the code, our field are not same. Our field are sales. Under sales we have the quantity, but here it is quantity. So in this way we can also do transformation. That's not a problem. But in this lecture I will be trying to achieve this thing. All the field are same. Even you can see here it is name, here it is customer name, here it is quantity, here is QTY, here sales amount, and here is the total price, here is the delivery address and mobile number, here is the address and the contact detail. So I want to do all this field mapping. I will be sending this to the input and I will be expecting this to the output. So there is one way we can achieve the same thing. We can create a output root. Under output we can create a field sales data. Under sales we can create different array. You can see there are 5 array here, 1 2 3 4 and 5. So how many tag are repeating? These all are called 1 array, 2 array, 3 array, 4 array, 5 array. Okay, so the main thing we need to check which field are repeating field. If you check here in this message, each sales data is repeating? No, only one sales data is there. Each sales is repeating? Yes, you can see sales is repeating. Each name is repeating? Name is repeating, but you can see the problem is that it is not under anything. So we need to check the field, which field under that mainly the contents are present that we are going to map, and that is repeating. So for here if you see the cells is repeating, under cells we have the all the fields, under the cells we have the all the fields. So we have the total 5 cells, right? 1 2 3 4 5. So we need to apply 5 array. So here if you want to do first transformation, then here similarly if you can check for order 1 or 2, order 3, order 4 and order 5. Okay, similarly if you want to do for first order transformation, so you need to what you have to write here. You have to here sales 1, and again this fields name, quantities, all things, and you are going to map with the order 1, this order 1. So this order 1 you are going to map with this sales value, this sales. Similarly again second order you are going to map with the second sales, and similarly third order you are going to map with the third sales, this array. Similarly fourth order, that's, or in other ways you can fourth array we are going to map with the fourth sales array, and the fifth one order you are going to map with the fifth sales. So in this way we can do one-to-one mapping with the field with the help of array in ESQLs. Okay, the previously we have the only the 3 orders, so we did the mapping till the 3. So this is the first array mapping, this is the second array of mapping, and this is the third array of mapping, right? For this example there are 5 fields, so we need to increase 2 more field, like say the similarly this 4 and the 5th. So instead of writing 3 here, we are going to write the 4, because 4 is the 4th field, because you can see first is the this one, second is this one, third is this one, and the 4th is this one. Okay, so similarly for this we need to write here a 4th. Similarly 5 for the 5. But suppose what if we have the more than the 100 fields, or what we have the more than the 200 fields, even 50 fields. So we are going to write similar manner for the 50? Not possible, right? In that case we are going to use the looping. So there are other aspect we have used this thing, right? If you remember we have used this thing, but there are some limitation with the using the select operation, because when we are using the select operation, the first thing you need to keep in mind is that it is mostly used for the table. If you want to perform any operation over the table, we mostly use the select operation. Apart from that, we can use the select operation with the logical tree also, but this will be performed when you have the symmetric things in output. Let me show you. Suppose if you want to do transformation from this order message to, okay, this message. So here if you see, here the fields are different. Here name, quantity, sales amount, these all fields are not matching with the this input message. So if when you are using the select operation, you can achieve the thing. That's not a possible. That is the case. It is not. It is not like that. It is not possible. That's the possible. You can create. You can send this to input, and you can get this like output using the select operation. But with the help of this code, it is not achieved. We need to do some modification on this part also. Okay. I will be showing you in the upcoming classes how we can do achieve it. But mostly if I will write this thing, this code, it will, instead of printing this in output, it will print this in output. So this field will be going to same. This all field will be going to same under the cells. Okay. So mostly select operation we perform when we have the fields name are the same. Okay. We can perform when the shape field name are not same also, but mostly what I'm saying, we perform when the field name are same. Okay, I will be showing you the both cases when the field name are same and when the field name are different. I will be showing the both cases, so don't need to worry when we are going to learn the how we can use the select operation using the in logic with the logical tree. Okay, so you don't need to worry. Okay, so for now I will be performing this. I will be sending this to input and I will be getting this to output. Okay, so this will become difficult because this select operation we perform mostly when the tree are symmetric first thing, and we don't need to do complex transformation. When we need to do complex transformation, mainly we prefer the loop. Okay, so that's the reason we are going to learn the loop. Okay, so for now we have seen what's the challenge we have. The first challenge is that here we have the only five array, only 5 cells of 5 order. You can see this is the 1 order, this is 2nd order, this is 3rd or 4th. Here we have only 5 order, or you can say that 5 array. So in that case we need to perform this into the 5 array. Here it is 3 and we need to add 2 more. Okay, but what if we have the 50 array or 100 array, then we need to, it code will become complex and also performance is going to degrade. To avoid these all things, we come with the solution of looping. First thing, so why we not the second thing, why we are not using the select? Because select is mostly used for the symmetric thing, first thing, and the second thing is that we use select operation only with the database. Third thing, we use select operation only we need to do simple transformation, but when we are going to do with some complex transformation, then we are going to use the looping. So that is about the why we are using the loop. Now let's, before going to learn the loop, let's understand the syntax of the loop and the why what's the difference between these loopings. Okay, so when talking about the loop, this is the first type of loop. The syntax is that the loop and the line of code and the in loop. This is the syntax of the first loop. So we are going to loop and the line of code that we are going to execute continuously, and the in loop. Loop in loop construct is used to create a basic loop that repeatedly execute a block of code until an exit condition explicitly defined with your own exit using the leave statement. Okay, so with the help of loop this is the basic looping, and with the help of loop we can write a code where we can execute a block of code, execute the line of code until the exit condition is reached, And the exist condition, we if we in this loop we can exist condition, especially we can mention with the leaf statement. You can include any logical condition to the exit. Okay, so we have the option, we can include, use the logical conditions like that, if, else if, something like that, to exit the loop. Okay, now coming to the second, that's the repeat. The syntax is repeat, code to be execute, until condition, and in repeat. Okay, so end, repeat and in repeat loop is used to execute the block of code repeatedly until a specific condition become true. The condition is checked at the end of the iteration, ensuring that the loop body is executed at least once. So what is the main features of the leap loop, the repeat loop? It checks the condition at the end. So firstly, when the code will execute, it will execute at least one time for sure, and at last it will check the condition. If the condition will be false, then it will continuously repeat. If condition will be true, then code will terminate, as then the block will be terminate and it will come out of loop. So that's the thing you need to remember. 2 point. First point, it will execute at least once because the condition is checked at the end of the block. Second point, it will check the condition, it will terminate the block, it will execute the block continuously until this condition is false. Once this condition will be true, it came out of this loop. Okay, so once this condition become true, then the loop will be terminated and it will came out of the loop, or until, and if the condition will be false, until that, then it will execute the loop. Repeat loop is the valuable control flow in the SQL scenario where you need to grandly execution of the loop at least once. Okay, so that's the, it is saying that this is the main feature of this loop, is that if you want to ensure that you want to execute the loop at least once, then you can use the repeat loop. Okay, so these all feature I have explained about the repeat. Now let's go to the while loop. The syntax is while, condition, and do, code to be execute, and the end while. So this is the code area where we are going to go, where we are going to write the code. While, this is the condition we are going to check. If the condition will satisfy, then we are going to do the coding something, and after that we are going to in the loop. The useful for the iterative operation where the number of iteration is not known beforehand. Suitable for scenario with the complex condition. So if you want to do some complex transformation, then we are going to use the while loop. Already while loop for the conditional and the complex iteration. Okay, now let's go to the last loop, that is the for loop. Ideal for the iterating over the collection or the list way with the non-structure, provides a straightforward way to process each iteration in a sequence. Use for structured iteration over the collection of array or array. Okay, so syntax is that a for, here we have to give the reference name as reference structure or array, do the code that we want to execute, and the end for. So this is the syntax for the for a loop, and this is used for the collection or array if there are some element that are repeating continuously in the form of array, then we use the for loop. Okay, now talking about the which loop is more important. because there are four loops. So which loop is mostly used? So most used loop are the first is the for loop. I have seen the most of the time the for loop are used, and the second most used are the while loop, and repeat and loop are the very less used, because there are some. I will tell you why this loop are very less used. But understand this thing: while loop are mostly used for the complex transformation, and for loop are used when structure iteration over the collection or array. The first priority for the loop, I have seen the for loop. Once if for loop are not satisfying or not making the proper complex transformation, then we use the while loop. Okay, the priority wise, the first is the for loop and the second is while loop. This is as per my understanding. Okay, I have seen as for a many example, so I have seen the for loop are the most used and the second is the while loop. Okay, now let's go to the directly without wasting the time. Let's go to the toolkit and let's see understand the code. Okay, I have already created an application with the name loop and underscore ESQL. So under that I have used the MQ input and the compute node and MQ output. So simple, you can write like that new application. You can write in application name as the loop ESQL. Under that you can create a message flow looping in ESQL, something like that. After that in MQ input, I just simple did the two things, that I just mentioned the queue name as the test6.in. This queue I have already created here. You can see if you will go to the queue manager one. So there are test6.in and test6.out hai, is there. Okay, so test6.in is present in for the in queue input, and test6.out is present in output node. Okay, apart from that we have used the parsing as the XML NAC parsing, so that it can only parse the XML message, and it can use the, I'm using the complete as a parsing option, so that it if any parsing error or validation error happen, that I can see it. Okay, few people will question me, why you are using MQ input and MQ output in every example to show you. This is my assumption. Okay, because because if you see some example on the YouTube, these all things. Okay, I have seen also the people are using the HTTP input node and HTTP reply node. Okay, but I am mostly using the MQ input node and MQ output node. Okay, here for the explanation, I can use the HTTP input node and I can use the HTTP reply node. That's not a problem. It is very easy thing. The problem is that here I am keeping the things in debug mode with around 1 hour or 20 minutes opened. Okay, I am putting the message and I am keeping the message in transit for the around 20 minutes to explain you. Okay, so that can only possible when we are using the MQ input and because these follow the asynchronous communication, right? But HTTP follow the synchronous communication, so it need reply with a certain span of time. So that's the reason I am using the MQ input and MQ output for your better explanation, so that I can send a message in debugging perspective, and I can show the thing each every how basically it is getting created in the logical tree. Okay, so that's the reason I am using MQ input and MQ output in the most of the examples, so that you can understand the things well. Although HTTP input and reply are the very easy thing. Okay, first thing. Okay, so these are the not I'm taking more time in these things. So without spending the time, let's go to explain the things. Okay, now These are the code I have written. Okay, this is for the loop, this is for the repeat, this is for the while loop, and this is for the for loop. Okay, and this my motive in this example, I want to send this as a input and I want to get this as a output. Okay, if you see here, we have the order details. Under order details we have the order as a child, and there are many order. This is the first order, second order, third, fourth, and fifth. So there are many 5 order, or in other way you can say that there are 5 array, and same 5 array I am expecting into the output also. This is the I am replacing order details tag with the sales data, orders with the sales, and apart from that, name, quantity, the sales amount, address, and contact, these all also replacing with the some other field like that contact detail, these all. Okay, and here also you can see there are 5 sales data. Okay, 3 4 5. Okay, or in other way you can say that there are 5 array. Okay, so I want to print not only the 5, if you have the 100 then it can be performed using the with the help of loop. For that, what I did, first I declare the reference variable with the inref. I am declaring a variable inref which is of reference data type, which is pointing to order details. So input root dot xml dot order detail. So inref is pointing till here. So with the help of inref dot orders, we can achieve this thing. We can get this thing with inref order. This all order can be achieved. Okay. Now for after that further, I am just creating a declare number of orders. I'm just creating a variable whose variable name is numbers of order, with variable type is integer, and I am using a function called cardinality. Okay, so what's the importance of this function and why we are using this function? Okay, let's understand the thing. Okay, under this function I am using the inref dot orders, and we are using the list expression. So as written here, cardinality is used to count the number of orders tag or number of repeating tag. Okay, so this function mostly used to count the tag that's are repeating. So here I have mentioned that inref, under inref is still order detail, order detail dot orders, and so order details dot order, and order tab you can see repeating. So there are how many order tag are there? One, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So this will return the 5. If there will be 6 order tag, then it will return 6. If there will be 7 order tag, then it will return 7. If it will be 100 order tag, it will return 100. So cadenate function is used to count the number of repeating tag, or you can say that count the number of array in the message. And what you want to count, that you have to mention here. Here I am mentioning the I want to count the field orders. So I am just counting the field order. There are 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so it will return 5. So it is used to, otherwise there are many ways you can say it is used to count the number of repeating tag. You can say that it is count to number of array, it is count to number of a particular field that is repeating. So there are many ways, and this value we are going to, because for now here it is written as a 5, and this 5 I am going to store into this variable, and this variable is of integer type. So I am just declaring a variable name and number of orders which is of integer type, and I am storing this value, and this will repeat this will return the number of order field, number of repeating order field. So you can see currently there are 5 order field, so it will return the 5. Okay, After that, I just again declared another variable, declare a variable name I, which is again of integer type, and assigning a value as a 1. So here what I am doing, here I am just assigning a value as a, here I am doing like that, I am I is equal to 1. Okay. So here I am assigning a value as a 1. And here I am do what I am doing for now. Here I am assigning a value is a is equal to 5. Okay. After that, again we need to create a field in output root, because in output root we you can see the fields are different. Sales data is here and sales is there, which is exactly not of type that we have in input. Okay. So we need to create in field in output. Okay. So I'm just creating a field called output root dot exponency dot sales data. So I'm just creating a field till sales data. Okay. And I'm just declaring this as a outref, which is of reference type and directly pointing to sales data. Okay. So now outref is directly pointing to this. So we can use outref instead of this. Now understand the loop. How basically this loop will work. Okay. Loop and the end loop, this is the syntax, but there are many things in between we can use. Okay. This is a particular one scenario. You can try with different scenario. Here I am using x before this loop because I want to give some certain name with this for this loop, because there are many loop can be possible, right? There will be a loop 1, there will be loop 2, there will be loop 3, so it will be a might be a confusion. So that's the reason I just mention this loop name as a loop x. Okay. You can here you can mention as a y, z or a, b, c, anything. Okay. I mentioned this loop name as a x and x colon loop. So the loop for this loop, the name is x. Further, I am checking a condition. If I less than equal to number of order, then execute this condition. Okay. So you can see initially what is the value. Initially, if you remember, I is equal to, initially what is the value, initially I is equal to 1 is there, and the value for the number of order is there 5, because we have the 5 order tag. Okay. So condition is like that, 1 less than equal to 5. So you can see the condition is true, right? Now this will code will execute. So first this code will execute first time. Again I'm setting the value I is equal to I plus 1. So it will, I will become 2. Further iterate x is means this loop. So it will again iterate the loop. Iterate loop means run continuously. Run the loop continuously. Okay. Again this, again it will go, I will become 2. So you can see I will become 2. So it will be the 2 less than equal to 5. So again this code will execute. So again second time loop will execute because I will become 2. Further again I will increase by 1, so it will become I will 3. Again it will execute. Again this loop is going to execute. Further I will become 4 because I plus 1. So again it will again further execute. Again I will become, it will again execute, it will 5 time. Further when I will become 6, so you can see the condition 6 less than equal to 5 or equal to, so it condition will fail. So this loop will not going to execute further, and it will go to else condition, and else condition has a leave x. Leave x means leave is used to terminate and leave the loop. So it is used to terminate the loop. So it will go outside the loop, and the code will go code will basically uh, this loop is going to terminate. So in this way loop works. Okay, further if you want to do like that, suppose instead of applying this if condition here, you can do like that. You can directly write this code here, and you can write this if condition to here itself also. So there is a option, you can write this if condition. Instead of applying this else condition, you can write first this thing, and after that you can write irritate x. So or and you can write in leave you can write this if condition. Okay, and there is another way. So I have tried this way, and you can try that way. Okay, so first I am checking if the order, number of order, you can see, consider like that. This is the first order, this is the second order, this is the third order, this is the fourth, and this is the fifth order. Okay, so number of order is less than 1. Again I will increase one by one. So if there will be 100 order, then again it will run the loop of 100 times. Okay, and all the field we are going to achieve and set the value again. So again what I'm doing here, I'm just using the outref. Outref is still sales data. Under outref I am just using the sales. Under sales I am just using the I. Initially when I will 1, then it will create the first array. Again I will 2, again it will create the second array. I will 3 become it will create third array. Again I will become 4, it will create the fourth array. Similarly, if there will be I will be 100, it will create the 100 array. Okay, again I am using the INREF. Again I am fetching the value with the help of I. When I will become 1, then it will first the value from the first order. Again I will become 2, first fetch the value from the second order. I will third, then it will fetch the value from the third order. When the I will be 4, then it will fetch the value from the fourth order. And when I will be 5, when it will fetch the value from the fifth order. Okay, okay, now in this way loop will end. Okay, now let's try to deploy the code and see. Okay, let me build a var file first. Loop in ESQL. Now where is the now now it has deployed successfully. Let me launch the debugger, and in between let me select the queue. So queue is the text sheet. Let me load the name, and let's test 6.in, and let me open load the message order detail array. Okay, this is the message. You can see it contained the 5 order. Let me write the message. It came here. Let's go inside the compute node. Okay, sorry, I just by mistakenly move outside the compute node. So again let me write the message again, but before that let me clear the message from the queue. Test 6.2. Okay, anyway, write the message came here. Let me go inside the compute node. Okay, you can see first once I will execute this line, it will declare a reference variable inref, which is still order detail. So you can see I just declare a inref variable, Under that array, you can see there are 5 order. I declare a variable inref till order detail. Under order detail, we have the 5 order: order 1, order 2, order 3, order 4, order 5. So this all 5 order has been created: order 1, order 2, order 3, order 4, and order 5. Once I will execute this line, it will create a variable name number of orders, which is of integer type, and it will assign a value as a 5, because currently we have the, you can see the 5 order is there. If it will be 10, then it will execute the, because it, you can see inref dot orders. So inref dot order, and here we are using the list expression. You can see, so list expression means array. So how many array is there? 1 2 3 4 5. So it will count the array. So there will be the 5 arrays. So this will this will become 5, and this value is going to assign a 5. So you can see, so you can see the number of order has been assigned a 5. After that, I am going to create again, create a variable, declare a variable I, and assign a value as a 1. So you can see I has assigned a 1, and you can see number of order is 5. And output root, currently I am just creating a field name. I created a field name called xml nsc on sales data, and declaring with the outref. So outref I declared it. Okay, now I will start with the looping thing. So from here, try to focus what I am showing you. Okay, so first I will execute the loop. It came here, it will check the condition I less than equal to number of order. You can see I less than equal to number of order. Okay, so 1 less than equal to 5. Yes, correct. So this code is going to execute, and in output root we are going to do array to array mapping. So I is currently 1, so it will do first array mapping with the first array. Okay, so what it is going to do, it is going to do this first order mapping with this first sales order sales mapping. Okay, when I will be 2, so again it will do this second order mapping with the second sales. When I will become 3, and it similarly it will do third order mapping with the third sales. Okay, so you can see currently, you can see under sales data there is nothing there. Once I will execute, it will create a code under that. So all the line code has been executed, and you can see currently under the sales data we have the sales tag has been created, and this is the first sales tag has been created. Under that you can see the first order value has been assigned. You can see what is the first order. Let's check. You can, the first order is the Risu Tiwari 12 and the same mobile number. You can see the same mobile number is showing here. Okay, okay, so in this way we have, see. Okay, now let's again increase the I by 1. So now I become 2. Again it will iterate x, means run the loop continuously. Again it will go further here, it will check the condition 2 less than equal to 5. Yes, it is true. Again loop will run. Again I will become 3. It will check the condition 3 less than equal to 5. Yes, condition is true. Again loop will run, and become I again. You can see currently, if you see here, 3 sales data has been created: first, second, third. Okay, because loop has run 3 times. Okay, I has run 3 times. Okay, loop has run 3 times. Again I become 4. Again it will check condition 4 less than equal to 5. Condition satisfied, the loop will execute. Again I become 4. Condition satisfied, loop executed. Again I become 5. 5 less than equal to 5. Condition satisfied, so loop executed. You can see all 5 tag has been created: first cell, second cells, third cell, fourth cell, fifth cells. So all 5 cells data has been created. all 5 sales data. Okay, now again I will become 6. Now it will check again condition, if condition here 6 less than equal to 5. Okay, it is false, so it will terminate out of if block and it will go to the else block. In else block it will check this condition. You can see in if block it came directly here, and here it is saying leave x. Leave x means what is x? X is the loop. So it is saying leave the loop. So it is saying terminate the loop. So it will terminate the loop and it will directly came return true. And after that you can say message goes to out and in the output queue. So message has been sent to the output queue. Let's check the output queue. You can see one message came here and you are going to see the same message. You can see same message there. Okay, correct. Now this is the loop. Now let's move to the other loop without wasting the time. Let me comment this thing. Now this is the repeat. This is repeat. The syntax is repeat and end repeat. You know the number of order is 5 because it basically number of order is the how many order field is there. So currently there are 5 order field: first order, second order, third order, fifth, fourth order, fifth order. Okay, so it will be the 5 and the I is 1. You know also the thing because I is 1. Initially what will happen when the repeat tag will when the loop will run, it will first set the value of the first order. So it will run at least one time. It in first time it does not check the any condition. Okay, that's the specialty with the repeat loop. If you want to execute the code at least one time, then you have to use the repeat loop, because it at the beginning it does not check the condition, it check the condition at the end. Okay, so when the first time it will execute without checking the condition, it will set the first value. Okay, after that I will become 2 and further it will check the condition as per it. And when this condition will false, there is this is mostly people say that this condition will not think like that. When this condition will true, then it will loop will terminate. Until and unless the condition will be false, then this loop is going to run continuously. Okay, so let me show you in debug mode. Okay, first let me build and save the var file and deploy the code. And okay, deployed successfully. Let me hit the message. Before that, let me see order detail array. Okay, now let me load the message. Open order detail array. Okay, now that's fine. Right queue. It came here. And declared the inref as a reference variable. You can see there are 5 order. Number of orders is 5 because there are 5 order field. There are 5 order. I declared as a 1. Now created the field, declared the field. Now you can see it does not check the any order. Currently if you see in the output, we have the only created the field till sales data, that here that is present, there is no sales field is present, right? After executing this condition, the sales field is going to create under that, and the what is going to happen again, because you can see currently I is 1 and currently I is 1. So what is going to happen? First I will become 1 and this I will become 1. So first order value is going to map with this first sales. Okay. So again we are going to create a value in the, create a field in output and going to assign the value with the help of input route. Okay. So you can see currently in the output first sales created, under that first value has been assigned the Risu Tiwari, and these are all the details. It is, you can see it is same, that it is mentioned Risu Tiwari, this whole thing, and you can see same thing. Okay. So first it without checks the condition, it execute the loop first time. Okay. So if you want to execute the loop at least once without checking the condition, then use the repeat loop. Now it will check the condition I equal to number of order plus 5. So you can see I currently it is like that, I equal to number of order is 5. You can see number of order is 5, and I become I, because I have increased by 1, so it will become 2. And what is the value of I? Okay, sorry, I is 2 and plus 1. Okay. So I is equal to 2, number of order is 5 and plus 1. So what is that? 2 equal to 6. So it is false. So it will execute the condition again. So it will again run the loop. And after you can see the second sales order has also created. You can second sales order created. Okay, Rahul Kumar. Again, what will happen? I become 3. So it will become like that 3. So 3 equal to 6. Again it is false. Again it will execute the loop. I become 4. You can see from here I become 4 and number of order is 5 and plus 1 6. So 4 equal to 6. Again it is false. So it will again execute the loop. Okay. Now I become 5. So I have become the 5 and number of order is 5 plus 1. So 5 equal to 6. Again it is false. So again it is going to execute the loop. You can see currently there are 4 sales order has been created. Again it executed. You can see 5 sales data has been created. Now again it will came here. I has become 6. So this has become 6. Now 6 is equal to 5 plus 1 again 6. So this is condition is true. 6 is equal to 6 is true. So this condition has become true. So now this loop is going to terminate. Now you can see terminated and it came return true. Okay. So what is happening here? It will check the condition. If the condition will be false, it will loop will run continuously. Once the condition will become true, the loop will terminate. Okay. And you can see here the 5 sales data has been created. You can see there are 1, 2, third sales data, 4 sales data and 5 sales data, and all 5 sales data we have details we have taken from the input route, that is the INREF. You can see all I did mapping from the with the help of INREF, because you can see what I am doing here. INREF orders, and the I become 1 2 3. As for that, I am doing mapping, and I am assigning this quantity value with the this. I am containing this total price value to sales amount. I am assigning this delivery address to this, and I am assigning this mobile number to this contact detail. Okay. So in this way we are doing mapping, and if I will again go out of this loop, and you can see the queue, output queue, you are going to get the same message. You can see the same message, okay, in the output. So in this way, repeat loop execute. Okay. Now let's go to the other loop. Other third loop is the while loop. Okay. So let me first comment this code. In while loop can be written into two ways. So I will be first going to discuss the first method, and I am going to discuss the second method again. And the most used is the second method. So try to focus on the second method, because mostly if you see in the real way, real world, that we are using the second method itself. Okay. The next two loop that we try to focus as much as possible, because that is the loop mostly used. Okay. What is the condition I'm doing? While I less than equal to number of order, you know the value of I is equal to 1, and the number of order is equal to 5. So it will check the condition. If condition is satisfied, then again it will do, and this code will execute. Again I am increasing I by 1, and end while. That's the very simple loop. Okay. So let me show you, okay, by hitting the message, how basically it works. Okay. Problem happen in debugging. Okay. Now I'm not able to see. Okay. Let me refresh it first. Now let me relaunch the debugger. Okay, launched again. Let me see if any message in output, then otherwise I will. Okay, there are two messages. Let me clear the message, and then let me again hit the message. Okay, message sent. Let me go inside the compute node. Declared the INREF, declared the number of order, declared the variable I, created a output root field. Now created the declared the outref. Now here from here we will do while loop. You can see currently same condition is like that. What I am doing here, I am initially I is 1, and the number of order is 5. Okay. So it will check the condition. Okay, 1 less than equal to 5, condition is true. So this will execute. Further I am increasing I by 2. So again this condition will do check. Okay, so let me show you. You can see currently I less than equal to number of order, it means 1 less than equal to 5, condition true. So this is going to execute, and in output root we are going to create a field sales, and you can see in output root a field called sales has been created. Again I am mapped with the first order value. Now I become 2, again 2 less than equal to 5, correct. Again I am doing the field mapping with the second array. Again I become, you can see again I become the 3 less than equal to 5, correct. So again I am doing the field mapping with the sales data. Again you can see I become 4 less than equal to 5, it is correct. Okay, you can see currently the 4 sales data has been created. Okay, now again I will do I I will increase I by 1. So again I become 5. 5 less than equal to 5, correct? So again it will loop will execute, and the 5 fifth cells array is going to map with the fifth order value. Okay, so you can see there are 5 cells field has been created. Now I become 6. 6 less than equal to 5, condition will not satisfy, so it will go out of while loop. You can see it go out of while loop, and same message we are going to see in the output. You can see same message in the output. Under cells we have the 5 cells data, right? And say see the same message in the here itself. Okay, you can see same, but there is problem with here. Why we are using, why we are trying with the another while loop? That's the biggest question. That's the biggest question people can ask me, why I am trying the another while loop, and why I'm saying that second while loop is most used. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, before that let me comment this thing. Hmm. Let me comment this from here and this from here. Okay, if you see here, for the loop we use the cardinality function, because we are using the number of order here, right? For the repeat also we have used the number of order, it means we have used the cardinality function. For the while loop, if you see, we have also used the here in the method 1 as a cardinality function, right? But in the method 2 I am not using the cardinality function, I am not using the number of order. That's the biggest advantage. Because if you ask with the any developer who is basically good in developing, okay, they will never recommended you to use the cardinality function, because the cardinality function degrade the performance of application, because it checks the how many field is there, and that basically reduce the performance of the application. So mostly people try to avoid the checking the avoid the using the cardinality function. Okay, that's the reason people mostly use the either for loop or the while loop. That's the second method. Okay, very rarely people use the repeat or the loop, because in repeat and loop mostly we use the cardinality function. Mostly we use the cardinality function in the repeat and the loop. Even in while, you can see here I have used the cardinality function, that the number of orders. Okay, but in the method 2 here I have not used any cardinality function. Even in for loop I have not used any cardinality function. That is going to increase my performance of application, and the people will be happy with my coding. Okay, so that's the reason. So if someone say why we are not using cardinality function, what is the problem with the using cardinality function, then you can say that cardinality function degrade the performance of the application, because it checks the loop, it continuously checks the how many order is there, and that basically decrease the performance of application. Because you can see every time when the code will execute, again it will check the how many order is there, how many order there, how many order there. Okay, so it will basically going to every time checking that's problem, it will create a problem, and it is going to degrade the performance. Okay, now let's see what is the second way of while loop. Okay, but before that let me again build and save the bar file and deploy the bar file. Instead of using the coordinating function in the while loop, we can do the coding in such a way. What I am doing here, I am just declaring a variable name IndRef, which is of reference type and which is pointing to orders. The previously it was pointing to order detail. Now I am directly pointing to orders. After that, I am declaring a I is equal to 1 as a variable. I am declaring I variable with the integer type and assigning a value as a 1. Further, I am creating a field till sales data, that is just similar to this one. Sales data and the assigning, and this is similar to this one. Okay. I am creating a field called sales data, and further I am declaring a outref as a reference variable and pointing to this thing. Further, this thing I am doing the same thing. I am using the while loop. In a while loop, I am using the last move, and in last move I am just using this and ref. Okay, and again do and this code and move and ref to next sibling and end while. What does it mean? Okay, let's understand the code. Okay, you can see and ref is pointing till orders, and ref is pointing till orders, and this order tag are repeating, right? This is the first order, this is the second order. In this way it is repeating, right? So while loop, if you will use the last move function, okay, while loop continuously execute as long as last move return true, indicates that the last move was successful. So this will continuously execute the code until the order tag is going to end. So if that's the benefit of using the last move. The syntax is like that: while last move, the field that is repeating, you can use the pointer and ref. Okay, and do. Further, I am just creating a outref. Outref is still sales data. Under that, I am just using the sales. Again, I am using I initially, it will become 1. Further, I am increasing by 2 because I want to create a array. I am assigning a value name. Here I am not using array because once this loop will execute, it will assign a value as for the array thing. Okay, so initially it will basically it will take the first array. After that, again I am doing move inref to next sibling. So for this, currently it will assign the first array value to the sales. After that, I'm doing move orders to the next sibling. So now what is the next sibling? So it will came here. Again it will assign value to sales. Again move this order to next sibling. So what is the next sibling? This is there. So it will again assign value to this sales. Okay, move this order to next sibling. So again it will came here and it will assign value to this sales. Okay, move this order to next sibling. Again it will go here and it will assign value to the orders as sales. Okay, after that it will again check if any orders field is there. So no, it is not here. So it will move out of while loop. Okay, so let me show you in the debug mode. Okay, I just executed the flow. It came into debug mode. Now let's, you can see directly I have not executed any code. Directly it came to while loop second method. I declared a inref till orders. So if you directly declare the inref till order, it will take the only one order. So you can see it only takes the first order. See, you can see under the inref it only store the one order, because if you mention like that order details dot order, it will consider the first order. It will not consider, it will not check the order as the second order, third order, fourth order, fifth order, fifth. Okay, so it will not check like that. It will only take the first order value, and this is value is going to go get. So it is not going to check the thing. Okay. So as INREF is pointing till orders without any list expression, so it will directly point to first order, and you can see under the INREF this value has been assigned. Only the first order has been assigned. Further, I will declare the I is equal to 1. I will create a field till sales data, and I will declare as a outref as a to this field. So you can see under the till sales data I have created a field. Now while loop will execute. While loop last move, it will check the INREF. So currently it is the first INREF contain the first thing. Okay. So it will execute as per this. It will set the value. It will create a field under sales data as a sales. Currently I is 1. So it means it will create the first array of the sales. Under that, the name value has been will be assigned from the inref.customer. You can see inref.customer is the first array of order. Okay. Similarly, it will execute the other line of the code. You can see all value has been assigned from the inref. Okay. You can see. Now after that, I will become 2. I has become 2. Okay. Now what I am doing here, move INREF to the next sibling. Currently you can see INREF is Risu Tiwari. Under INREF we have the customer name is Risu Tiwari. Under INREF we have the customer name is Risu Tiwari. Okay. And this is present under these orders. Okay. And INREF is present till orders. INREF is pointing to orders. INREF is pointing to this order, first order, this order. For this, what is the next sibling? For this, next sibling is this. Next sibling is this. So it will, if I will mention like that, move INREF to next sibling, INREF to next sibling. So it will orders will so INREF will point to this order, and under INREF we are going to see this value. So if I will mention code like that, move INREF to next sibling. So currently INREF is pointing to this order, and for this order next sibling is this. I'm not going to explain what is mean by next sibling, previous sibling, because this all thing already explained you. So for this next sibling is this, and for this previous sibling is this. Okay. I'm just simply want to explain. Okay. So for this next sibling is this. So now INREF will point to this order, and under INREF we are going to see this value. So let me show you. Now you can see after executing this line of code what is happening. Now in INREF we are seeing this value Rahul Kumar 5280, and this plot be something like that. Okay. Now INREF is pointing to this. Again it will move. While last move, again it will move, and again it will, again I is 2. So second array of cells is going to create. Under that we have the name, and further I am going to assign a value with the INREF.customer name, and this is the second order detail. So again it will execute, and you can see second sales value has been assigned to the output root. Now again it will, I has become 3, and currently if you see, currently INREF is pointing to this order, and for this order the next sibling is this one. So when I will write move and ref next sibling, so now and ref will point to this order, and under and ref this value will be going to show. Okay, so let me show you. You can see under and ref that this sibling now John Smith is showing. Okay, again similar manner I will be going to set the value. Now the third sales value has been assigned to output root. Okay, now further I will become 4, and currently if you see under INREF we have the John Smith has a customer name, that is the pointing to this order. So INREF is currently pointing to this order. Once I will do move INREF to next sibling, so INREF will point to this order, and now this all value will be present under the INREF. Okay, so let me show you. You can see under INREF we have the Ramesh and same Ramesh is present. Okay, similarly with the help of while last move, it will check until the tag is present, under the orders tag is present. So again it will execute. Again I will become 5. Again it will, you can see currently Ramesh Singh is present. For currently INREF is pointing to this order. With the help of move INREF to next sibling, it will move INREF to this, and now under INREF this value will be present, not this one. Okay, so let's see. You can see under INREF now this is present, Rohan Kumar is present, and same Rohan Kumar you can see here. Okay, and now with the help of again last move, it will check the condition, and again it will assign the value. Okay, now you can see all 5 cells data has been created. Okay, now further it will again it will increase the I by 1, but there is no benefit of increasing the I by 1 but last, but that's ignore the thing. Okay, further it will move the INREF by next sibling. So currently this is the currently INREF is pointing to this order. Currently INREF is pointing to Rohan Kumar, that is belong to this order. So it will, once the code will execute move INREF next sibling, so it will try to search the next sibling, but currently we have no more orders present, so it will return blank. So again when it will go here, it will not get any value, and the code will going to execute terminate, and while loop is going to terminate. So you can see currently there is no INREF value is present. You can see INREF value is empty. Currently we don't have anything INREF. So it will check INREF whether INREF is present. No, INREF is not present. So it will go outside of loop. You can see, and it came here, and loop has been terminated. And we can see the same thing in output. Okay, so in this way while loop works, and that is very important. Okay, because here we are not using any coordinative function. Okay, so that's the bigger advantage while using the while loop with the last move concept. Okay, so that is the thing you need to understand, how basically while loop works with the last move. Okay, now let's move to the last loop, that is the for loop, and that is a very important loop, and it is a very simple loop. Not only the very important loop, that is the very also simple loop. Okay, so for that let me just uncomment this thing, because there are maybe few things we are going to use. Okay, now okay, because I am using here I function, because I is equal to 1. So only thing I am going to from here, it is the I is equal to 1, and or anything else, or outref. Okay, but I'm not using quantity function because you can see there is no number of orders field I'm using here. Okay, initially I'm declaring inref, and again I'm doing, but there is no use of inref because I'm not using inref any. I tried to segregate the variable as a order ref, something like that. So what I'm doing here, let's understand the thing. Okay, for order ref as a reference value, do the code again I plus 1 and the in the loop. That's the simple straightforward. Okay, it works pretty much similar to this while loop. Okay, see, so this for loop, this order if is pointing till orders. This order if is pointing till order if is the a type of reference variable that is pointing to orders. And what is orders? Orders is this thing, this order. So there are 5 order, you can see, right? Again, what I am doing here, outref is pointing till sales data, that's fine. And under that I'm creating a field called sales. Initially I is 1, so it will first array of the sales will be going to create, and name value is going to again create. Under that I am going to use the order ref under that customer name. The similar to, you can see here I have used the iron ref, here I am using order ref. The same way it is going to happen again. It will be first array will be going to create, again second array, third array, fourth array. This all value is going to assign to this sales, and at last when the this value is going to end, no, there will be no order field, so then it will be loop is going to terminate. So 2 point here we need to remember. First thing is that here we have to use the list expression. So here you can write any name, that's not a problem, because this is the any reference variable, this is a reference variable. Okay, that's which is used to point to this order field. And the field that we are going to mention here is the repeating field. Okay, so you can see order field is the repeating field in this message, so that's the reason I have used here the order, and beside that I am using the list expression. And what are the reference variable you are using here, you need to mention here to fetch the field, because order ref is pointing till orders, and under order we have these all customer name, mobile number, quantity, these all thing is present. So that's the reason we can use the customer name order. This all value we are going to fetch and assign to this all fields. Okay, further I am increasing I by 1 because I want to create the sales array 2 3 4 similar manner. So that's the reason I have used the this thing. Okay, so let me show you in debug mode how basically it works. So let me first, INREF has been declared. There are 5, but that there is no use of this line of code because I'm not using. There is no use of second line of code also. Now from here, this 3 line of code where I'm going to use, this 3 line of code will be used. Okay, so first execute the first I is equal to 1, created a field, declared the field. Now it come to a for loop. Okay, now you can see from here, let's understand and focus on this. Okay, once this line of code will be executed, what is going to happen, a reference variable called order ref is going to create, and that will basically point to this. It means input root dot explanatory dot order detail dot order, and it will first point to the first order. Further, we are going to set the value with under do, increase it, and we are going to run the loop until this field will be exist. So let me show you. You can see currently this line of code executed. First, okay, so you can see under this, under sales, the first value has been assigned. Currently you are not able to see the order reference variable because this all thing is running in background, so it is not showing in the logical tree. Okay, so you cannot see the things that actually happening here. You are going to only see the code, basically how it is going to execute. The first time it execute, again it will execute the second time because we have the second order also. Again it will execute the third time because we have the third order also. Again it will execute the fourth time because we have the fourth order also. Again it will execute the fifth time because we have the five order also. Okay, but after that again we don't have the sixth order, right? Now after that it is going to terminate the loop. You can see now it terminated loop, and all five sales value you can see 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so in this way for loop works, and same message we are going to see in the output. You can see same message that I am expecting. So in this way I have explained all the for loop. Before ending this lecture, I want to I want to take the 2 minutes to summarize the all the concept in brief, the main point of the all the for loops. Okay, so let's wait till the debugger get coming back because it is currently gone into the non-responding state. Sometimes this type of situation happens. So when talking about the loop, we use the cognitive function here to check the condition. First point. Second point, we use iterate to run the loop continuously. We use the syntax leave to leave the loop. Fourth point, we can specify the terminate condition explicitly with under the leave condition with using the any logical tree. So using the logical tree we can mention the condition under leave, so where we need to terminate the loop. Okay, so these are the some few points using the for the loop. For repeat, it will execute at least one times and it checks the condition at end. It will run the loop continuously until the condition is false. Once condition will be true, the loop will be terminated. That's all point for the repeat. Now for the while loop. While loop we can run this using a two way. Either we can use the cognitive function and we can do simple checking of the condition and setting the value, and when the condition will be going to false then terminate the loop. Either we can use the last move, so while last move and the reference variable, and the variable, this reference variable should be pointing to the field that is repeating. Again I will be going to set the value and I will be with the help of move I am going to move the reference variable to the next sibling, and it will check until the and ref will be going to exist. It means order field is going to exist. Once order field will be not going to exist, then and ref will become empty, and this loop is going to terminate. Okay, and this is the most used after the for loop, because this we don't use the cognitive function, and we use mostly for the complex transformation. So when we need to do the complex transformation, mostly we use the while loop, and especially using this type of concept. Now for the for loop, this is mostly used when we have the structured message or the array message or in the array list type of message. And this is also used for the simple type of transformation, not much complex transformation. And this is quite straightforward. It will basically, we use the for loop. Here we use the a variable, reference type variable, that basically with the help of as directly it will point to the orders, that is the repeating field. So you need to keep in first point in mind that this field should be repeating field, and he, as this is the repeating field, we mention here this as a list expression. After we have the do, under do we are going to write the code, but here we need to point, keep the point and in the point, because here we are going to mention the direct outref, because outref is pointing to orders. So we can, with the help of outref dot this all customer name dot quantity dot price dot address dot mobile number, we can fetch the value from the input message. Okay, so with this point you need to remember again. So this will execute until the this order ref field will be there. Once the order ref field will be going to end and there will be no order ref field, then this for loop is going to terminate, and we are going to get the message in the output as per expected. Okay, so that's about the for loop. So I hope you have enjoyed the lesson about the looping. So we have the four type of loop, and the most used is the for loop, and this is for the simple transformation. And the second most used is the while loop, and this is mostly used for the complex transformation. So in the next lecture again we are going to learn new concept and new things. So thank you so much. Thank you all.